Hello, ladies. Welcome in. Let me just fix the light. I'm so excited about today's topic. We're going to be talking about how to alleviate anxiety and body tension without force. I think my new motto for this year is without force. That's like my new motto for the year because so much of what you learn in the personal development space is so male centered. It's so much about discipline and force and like just trying to penetrate through things. It's a very masculine way, and it did help me for a long time, but I found that my body, like a part of my body, was resisting that. It was like repelled by that. And I think the female body doesn't want to be penetrated without consent, and it doesn't want to be forced into anything. So, what I'm going to be sharing with you here today is like things that I have done, like a step by step process to help you alleviate anxiety and body tension. And I say alleviate, not end, because in my own life, I'm going to be sharing from my own experience. I don't like to speak on something that I'm not embodied in. And I still experience anxiety, as I'm sure most people do. Like it still comes up. It's not something that you just end forever. But I found that in my own life, I've found tools that have helped me. My anxiety used to be so much worse. And I used to have way worse body tension and pain. I used to have like chronic pain. And so that's why I didn't say end. I'm going to be sharing tools with you that have helped me alleviate this and work with this. And I don't know, maybe in the future it will end, maybe it won't. I have no idea. But this is why I chose that word specifically, because I'm going to be sharing all of that with you here today. And they're all things that work. But take whatever works, don't take what doesn't. Like it's take it or leave it. You don't have to force yourself to do anything that doesn't resonate with your body or just doesn't feel right for you. So the first one, I'm hesitant to put this one as the first one, okay? Because maybe I shouldn't mention this one as the first one, but okay, I'll just say it. So I know I said without force, but the first one is exposure therapy. And hear me out. Okay, wait, before you exit out of this video, it's exposure therapy in small doses. It's not in this way where you're like forcing yourself to do something and you're disconnecting from your body altogether and you're just kind of like abandoning yourself. It's exposure therapy where you're actually asking yourself, okay, how can I still show up, do the thing while I'm uncomfortable, and still show up for myself? I'm not forcing myself to do it. I'm not abandoning myself either, but I'm still choosing to show up and do the thing anyways. And I think this is the best sign of a healthy nervous system, of a healthy relationship with your emotions. Because what I used to do is just not show up at all or show up completely numb and disconnected from my body. And I don't want to do that anymore. I don't want to just abandon things that I want to do because I still want to show up for myself. I still want to show up and do the thing. I still want to show up in my relationship, even if at moments difficult conversations feel uncomfortable. I still want to show up for that. I still want to show up on YouTube. Literally, I am doing exposure therapy right now by going on, excuse me, and doing these lives because it's not easy to come on here and do a live. Like there's a lot of nerves that come with this. But to me, I'm not going to avoid doing the hard thing because it feels uncomfortable. I'm going to show up and ask myself, okay, how can I support myself throughout this process? I'm feeling a little nervous. I'm feeling like, I don't know, like how this will go. And I have all kinds of questions. We all do when we're feeling anxious and we're uncertain about something. But what I ask myself is, how can I support myself through this process? And the reason I say exposure therapy, I'll give you actually an example of this. I'm a very introverted person. And I really don't like to go out very much. Like I spend so much time at home. And when I do this for like long amounts of time consecutively, I find myself feeling anxious in public. I find myself feeling anxious around other people. And when I say exposure therapy is I'll actually force myself. Okay, well, but I'm not like forcing myself in the sense where it's not something I want to do. And it's in doing something in a way where it's like it doesn't align with me. It's something that still aligns with me and I'm still supporting myself through the process. So to give you an example, if I'm feeling uncomfortable in public, I'll say, okay, let's go to a cafe. This is actually something that I did recently where I was like, I'm spending so much time at home, but like I'm starting to feel anxious when I go out in public, or I'm like, I'm starting to avoid eye contact with people. And I don't want to live in fear and to allow anxiety to control me. And so what I started doing is I started going out to a cafe and just putting myself around people in like an easy environment, in like an environment where I was just by myself and I didn't really have to talk to anyone if I didn't want to. And that was kind of a small way to expose myself to that. And maybe this is not like a good starting point for you where you're like, that's way too much. I'm not going out by myself. That's terrifying. But I want you to start thinking about like, what are the small steps, again, like literally from the live from yesterday, of this is how I always work with myself. It's not an all or nothing. It's always what is the next small step that I can take to do this thing that I'm afraid of anyways while supporting myself. For me, coming on this live, for example, I made this nice like drink. Oh my god, I have to tell you guys about this drink from Trader Joe's. It's so good. It's so good. So I don't drink caffeine or like I don't drink coffee. I don't really drink most caffeinated drinks unless it like happens by accident. But I found this drink at Trader Joe's, and what is it called? It's like a whole mix. It's a caffeine free mix of like a dandelion root with carob, if I don't know if I'm saying that correctly. And it's made with figs, like dried figs, and like some other things. Like no sugar added. Is literally a tea bag that you use, and it tastes just like coffee without like the acidic battery taste, like which I hate. I hate acidic battery taste in coffee, which I think is a big part of why I like stopped drinking it. I was drinking it because it was so normalized, but I realized that my body didn't actually like it. Oh my gosh, and let me actually mention, coffee is like one of the most anxiety inducing things you can consume. If you have anxiety, you do not want to be drinking coffee. You do not want to be drinking caffeine because that is going to leave you literally like so jittery and so anxious. I can't believe I actually didn't write this down, but it's so funny that it just came off naturally. So try finding ways where you can incorporate like caffeine free drinks that maybe taste like something that you did like, but that are caffeine free. For me, I love drinking this with milk. And I also like drinking, they have a just like a decaf black tea, and I also like drinking that with milk. I don't know, I just love drinks with milk. They feel so like cozy and nurturing. So I love drinking that. But anyways, that was a sidetrack. Um I don't know the name of it, but I think you'll find it if you look for that exact description that I mentioned. Um so what is my next point? So my next point is morning pages. Morning pages, morning pages. I've talked about this on my channel before. Morning pages have literally changed my life, especially like if you wake up with a lot of body tension, especially if you wake up with like so many thoughts. And you can turn this into morning pages and evening pages if you like sit in bed and you're like thinking constantly and you can't go to sleep. Morning pages and evening pages. And it is just simply a way to declutter your mind. So just like you declutter your house, have you ever noticed when you're in your house, like, and everything is all over the place, it's so messy, and you start to feel anxious, you start to feel like like tense and tight. And you're like, I need to like start cleaning up, I need to take out the trash, I need to do my laundry. And once you actually do these things, you feel like you can finally relax. It's the same exact thing with this. When you start writing down all your thoughts without trying to make anything look pretty, without trying to be perfect or anything, like it's literally just dumping everything out on the paper from your brain to declutter it. Take it out, put it on the paper. And just the process of doing that allows you to relax, because now you don't just have to keep holding on to everything in your head. You can just allow yourself to be. If there's an appointment, if there is something that needs your attention, it's right there on the paper, and you can take notes, add it to your to-do list, add it to your reminders, do whatever you need to do after the fact. You don't have to do anything with it. But if that is the case, where there are things that you need to take care of, you can take care of that, and it no longer has to be in your mind where you're constantly just thinking about it, like, okay, I need to do this at this time, I have this appointment, I need to prepare this, I need to prepare that, I have this coming up, I have this coming up. That causes so much anxiety. Even as I'm saying it right now, I'm like, oh, I'm starting to feel anxious as I say it. But notice that when you start writing out all these things, you can allow yourself to relax. You can allow yourself to, it's kind of like the masculine structure that holds you, that allows your feminine energy to flow, so that you don't have to just be in your head all the time. And you can do this. For me, I do it for 3 pages long in my journal. You can do it in whatever way works for you. It doesn't have to be 3 pages long, but for me personally, 3 pages long has been the thing that has worked the best. And usually towards the end is when I'll start, like, I have emptied out my mind, I've decluttered my mind, and I start to get creative ideas. I start to kind of tap into more of like my higher self versus the cluttered mind. And the third thing that I have, these are, I don't think I put these in order at all, so don't take them in order of like the most important thing. The third thing that I have is compassion. And this actually goes with, do I want to tie those two? No, it's okay. I'll leave that separate. So my third point is compassion. And the reason I say this is because when you experience an emotion, when you're going through something, when you notice a tension in your body, when you notice the anxiety come up, when you try to resist that, when you try to shame yourself or say, I shouldn't be feeling this, I hate that this keeps coming up, I am so tired of feeling this, what often happens is you will notice a resistance push back even more. You will notice a resistance actually get stronger. And when you actually start showing up for yourself with compassion and say, it's okay that I feel this way. It's okay that I feel anxious. It's okay that I feel tense in my body. It's okay that I feel nervous. It's okay that I feel scared. When you start showing up for yourself in this way, I want you to even notice if there's something going on in your body right now as you listen to me. Maybe it's anxiety about something that's coming up, or just anything that is coming up in your body. Maybe it's tension in your body right now. And I want you to notice a difference, okay? When you tell your body right now, I wish this would just go away. I wish that this would stop. And notice what happens in your body. Does it feel like it's getting stronger? Does it feel like it's kind of pushing back a little bit? Does it feel like it's getting louder? And then I want you to tell that part of yourself that feels anxious, that feels scared, that tension in your body, it's okay that you feel this way. It's okay that you feel anxious. It's okay that you feel scared. It's okay that you feel nervous. It's okay that this tension is here. And notice what happens. And write it in the chat if you actually tried this. I want to hear from you. What happens? What is the difference that you notice when you are pushing and resisting what you feel versus having compassion and accepting what you feel? It's such a different feeling. Like your body feels like, I don't have to keep like pinging her and telling her like, hello, I'm in pain, I'm anxious, like, look at me, hear me. It's like a little child that just wants to be seen and heard. It just wants your attention. It just wants reassurance. And you're over here saying like, hey, shut up, be quiet. I'm so over this. I'm so over feeling this. I'm so over like continuing to like for this feeling to keep coming up. So when you are showing up for yourself with compassion, you're literally reassuring that inner child. You're reassuring that part of yourself that's like, hello, I'm still here. Can you hear me? Can you see me? And like, you don't have to do anything. We oftentimes think it has to be complicated and that we have to do something about it or we have to fix ourselves. But oftentimes the pain or the emotion or the sensation that we feel is simply just wanting to be seen and heard. And it just wants your reassurance. It just simply wants you to say, hey, I hear you. I see you. That's okay. Even coming on this live, I'm feeling nervous. Yeah, of course, it's okay to feel nervous. It's okay to feel anxious. Whereas when you tell yourself, no, you shouldn't feel anxious, you shouldn't feel nervous, you shouldn't feel scared, then it's like, okay, well, I feel this way, so what do I do with this now? Like, okay, well, I guess I'm not gonna go live anymore because I don't want to feel it and I don't know what to do about it. It exists. But notice how when you say it's okay to feel this, you can still show up for yourself. You can do the thing and you didn't force anything. You still showed up. You accepted what was there. You acknowledged what was there and still showed up. And you still supported yourself rather than abandoned yourself or tried to pretend that it doesn't exist or it isn't there. And the next point that I have is the fourth point, coming back into the body. And this is related to the last thing that I just mentioned. Because a lot of the time with anxiety, we are really up in our head. It's a very heady energy. We are very up in our head. We are analyzing, we're breaking things down, we're having a conversation with someone and we're in our head trying to anticipate what's the next thing I'm going to say, how am I going to approach this, how am I going to heal this. Like if you're like into personal development, I know that you know exactly what I'm talking about. It's this very like, does your head ever just feel heavy? Do your shoulders feel heavy? Do you feel so tense in your body? This is like literally such a classic sign of anxiety, of constantly being in your head. And the reason I say that the way to help yourself come out of your head is to come back into your body. So I want you to start finding ways to come back into your body. For me, that has been trying out baths, like taking a bath and actually just allowing myself to not be productive, to not be so much in my head, and to just enjoy being in my own presence and to just like exist, to just exist in my experience, smelling the bath, feeling the water, seeing the candles that I lit. Like so much about this, like if you take nothing else from this video, let it be this. Anxiety, the way to actually work through anxiety and to come back to your body is through your senses, is through presence. And what is presence? Because I feel like that is such a complicated thing that people are like, I need to be present. But like, do we actually know what that means? What does it mean to be present? To like what it means to, for me, at least I think that when you are present, you're able to literally absorb and appreciate what you are experiencing. You're able to see things around you and actually take them in, not just kind of see them and kind of brush them off, but actually see them and take them in. You're able to smell, like literally using your physical senses to bring yourself to this moment. Because when you are anxious and even when you are depressed, you are in your head. You're either living in the future with anxiety or you are living in the past with depression. And so the way to bring yourself back to the presence is to come back to your body through your senses, because nothing else exists outside of this. When you bring yourself back to your senses, this is how you actually start being present. This is actually how, when I'm hearing my chair creak right now, that is helping me be present. When I drink my tea and I taste it and I feel the temperature, that is helping me be present. When I feel myself in the chair, that is helping me be present. Constantly bringing myself to this present moment and what I'm experiencing, what I'm seeing, what I'm hearing, what I am smelling, what I am tasting, what I am feeling. Maybe I already said that one, I don't know. But just literally constantly bringing myself to this moment. And when you do that, you cannot be living in the future and the present at the same time. And this is actually the way to regulate your female nervous system. When you bring yourself to the present moment, you are showing your body that you are safe. When you live in the future and when you live in the past, your body is thinking of, your body feels like it's in those situations. It's either in the future, or it's in the past. And so it can't relax. You're in this constant state of survival because you're in the future or in the past. And when it is constantly in these states and you're constantly in survival, how you bring yourself out of that now is bringing yourself to the present moment. And now your body can actually release oxytocin, which for the female nervous system helps you feel safe. Tells your body, okay, she is right here in this moment. She's noticing all these things. She's slowing down. She's appreciating her tea. She's appreciating this music or these sounds, and she's taking in the fresh air. Of course, she's not in survival. She's not on the run. She's not on survival, like worrying about all these things. She's right here. So that brings you out of survival mode. And the next point that I have, this may be one of the longer videos. I have so many points. As you can see, I've definitely had my fair share of anxiety and body tension. Let's see. I already talked about, actually, I think I combined a lot of these together. And the next point that I have, I don't know what number I'm on because I did not number them on here. But I think this is the last one that I have, is to alchemize trapped emotions. So oftentimes, I've talked about this on this channel before, how when you are experiencing a lot of anxiety, when you've experienced, let's say, like I just said, when you're living in the future, and like that's anxiety, and you're living in the past, that's depression. Oftentimes we go into our heads because it's a way to protect ourselves. Because there is things in our body, there are emotions in our body that are trapped. There are emotions that are trapped in our body in the form of energy. And when these things are trapped in the body because of past experiences that we've had, things that we've kind of picked up here and there over time, these things need to be processed, or else they continue kind of like knocking, like, and pinging you, like asking for your attention. And they will lead you to feeling heavy in your body. They will lead to a lot of anxiety. They will lead to a lot of tension. But once they are actually processed, they were always meant to be processed, but maybe that process was interrupted. Maybe you were told you shouldn't feel a certain emotion. Maybe you were just not taught how to go through this process, I think we naturally know how to go through this process, but oftentimes this becomes interrupted. in some way, shape, or form. We are shamed for what we feel, or we're shamed for the way that we're showing up, so we stop speaking up. Whatever it is, we have a lot of this energy trapped, whether it's in our hips or in our womb or in our shoulders or in our throat. Like, it can be in so many different areas, to the point where you just feel heavy, you feel tense, you feel anxious. And until we process this, it continues to come up. The way you express yourself, the way you show up, the way you speak, the way that you walk, the way that you eat, everything is literally happening through all of these things in your body, all of these blockages in your body, all of these trapped emotions. And in order to actually be able to show up in the way where you're where you're actually like playful in life, where you're able to express yourself and be free and you feel light, and you're able to show up and do the things you want to do, or you're able to show up in your relationship in the way that you want and flirt with your partner or make a joke. I literally used to like feel so serious, and like I felt like I couldn't be playful. I felt like this such heavy energy in my body, and I continue to work on this because there's still things in my body that haven't been processed. And I am working at my body's pace. But there are things that I've processed them, and I'm like, immediately I notice a shift in myself where I feel lighter, where I feel more playful, where I'm just able to be funny in a conversation naturally. I feel like it's a little silly to share, but I'm going to share it anyways. I've always felt like I was funny on the inside, but I didn't feel like that part of me could actually be expressed outwardly. There was something in me that was like holding that back, that was keeping it in. And as I process these things, as I go through this like process of emotional alchemy, of releasing and transmuting these things in my body, I just naturally feel lighter. I feel more playful. I feel more energized. I feel better able to come and create these videos. I feel more creative. I'm able to actually feel my life force energy, which is our energy as women that we create with, that we literally birth a child into the 3D with. And so there's a lot of things that can kind of dampen that, that can kind of block that from coming up, block the natural expression of how you naturally express yourself, how you show up in the world. And when these things are kind of like piling up on top of that, that isn't able to come through. But when you're constantly clearing all of these things and you're processing these things, I think my laptop might die. Let me just put in my charger real quick. When you are literally processing these things, this is how you create lightness. So remember how I talked about for anxiety mentally, there is a process of mental decluttering that needs to happen in order for you to stop feeling so heavy in your head. It is exactly the same way in your body. So oftentimes anxiety and body tension are caused by mental clutter. They can also be caused, most of the time they can be caused because of I don't want to call it body clutter, but that's what we're going with. Body clutter, all of these trapped emotions that are literally just waiting to be processed. They are just waiting to be integrated because they all have a message to share with you. They have something they want to share with you, a piece of wisdom, a lesson. And until that is processed and integrated, it just continues to play out. It continues to play out in your life, in your relationship, in the way that you are, like the patterns that continue to repeat for you. And you're thinking, oh my gosh, like, how can I just get rid of this? This person keeps acting this way, and you blame other people. It's like, wait, what can I do on my end to change the patterns that I'm seeing out in the world? And this is when you start creating your reality. This is when you start creating the outcome that you actually want to see, the kind of relationship that you actually want. And this is exactly what I'm going to be helping you do inside Stop Sabotaging the Love That You crave. Oh my God, I forgot the last word for a second. I'm like, wait, because I went back and forth about that word. So that's why I paused. But inside, stop sabotaging the love that you crave. And it's literally this process of emotional alchemy. I'm going to be taking you through this because the lighter you feel in your body, the less anxious you feel, the less tense you feel, the more playful you're able to be in your relationship, the more you're able to express your emotions without it feeling like this big deal, without it feeling this intense thing that you have to do. And without it being like, okay, well, this makes me feel very anxious, very like on edge to share, very vulnerable to share. So I'm just not going to do it. Is that really the type of relationship you want to have? Is that really the type of life you want to have? I had to ask myself this because I don't want to live a life where I'm running away from difficult conversations, from difficult emotions. I would rather feel the thing and just do it anyways. I would rather keep processing everything as it comes up, as I continue to expand and grow as a human being, as a woman, and keep moving on and expanding about my life and keep living my life and keep expanding on that. And continuing to allow myself to actually feel good in my body, to receive more goodness in my life because I deserve that. And if this is how you feel and if this video resonated with you, I would love it if you could join us. And the link will be down below. We will be starting February 27th. There is an early bird price currently. And if I don't know how, I think there's maybe just a few days left. And there is still also the bonus of having the private Telegram chat access, which will be going away after the early bird. So if you want to have support, direct support throughout the 60 days, that is also going to be available if you sign up today or in the next few days. But it is going to be going away in a few days. The timer is on the page. The link is down below if you want to check that out. I think that is everything that I have for today's video. Yeah, I think that's all the points. Maybe we can end actually with a practice, maybe that helps you come back into your body. Okay, so taking a deep breath in. And breathing out. And taking one more deep breath in. And breathing out. And feel free to close your eyes if it helps to come back to your body. And noticing your seat bones in your seat. Or if you're not sitting down, noticing your feet on the floor, noticing where they touch, where they make contact with the floor. And allowing yourself to feel the support of the chair, the couch, the bed, whatever surface you are on, the floor. And allowing your body to melt into that support, even if it's just in your feet while standing up. And opening your eyes, coming back into the room, looking around the room, finding anything that looks pleasant. Maybe 5 things that your attention is drawn to. And notice what happens in your body. Notice if you start to take A deep breath in, where you feel yourself relax in your chair. What happens as you scan the room and you physically move your head from the left to the right and from the right to the left? Bring back yourself to the center. And that is everything that I have for you today. I hope that you found this video helpful. Please leave in the comments down below what you found to be helpful, what you got out of this video, what you have questions about, maybe future topics that you want me to speak about. Feel free to leave all of that down below. And I will see you in the next video or inside Stop Sabotaging the Love That You Crave. Again, the link will be down in the description below. Bye.